My name's Jim Piper, and I'm actually of counsel with Walters Gilbreath. The term of counsel is merely a reference to a particular status. It tends to happen when lawyers are not in any kind of ownership position in the firm anymore, but they still have a much greater status than, for example, associates in the firm. I joined Walters Gilbreath several years ago. I'd actually been the senior partner in a number of family law firms over the years in town. Jake Gilbreath had actually been my associate at one of those firms for a long time. I'd worked with Jake a lot on cases, and he gave me the opportunity a few years ago, as I was looking to not be in management responsibilities anymore, to join this firm, and it's been a blessing in my life. I became a lawyer actually because as a kid I watched Perry Mason, and to be honest, and I know a lot of younger people aren't going to know that TV show, but I fell in love with the idea of representing people when I was about 7 years old, and I never deviated from that. I originally thought I wanted to be a criminal lawyer because that's what Perry Mason was, until I went to law school. And then I discovered that it looked like to me a better way for me to help people was actually to represent people who couldn't afford a lawyer. And I spent the first 10 years of my practice representing the indigent as a legal services lawyer here in Austin. And after that, I went into private practice, and family law kind of took me over. I didn't particularly plan on it. It just sort of began to occupy more and more of my practice until about a year after I went into private practice. It was my entire practice. I really love family law. It gives you not only the opportunity to help people, but it also keeps you really kind of on your feet, because it's a complex area of the law. You deal with so many interesting issues, from issues that involve custody, which might be addiction, abuse, violence, just who's a better parent in general, where people get to live, how much money they get to live. And it also, even in the property issues, it's just fascinating to me. My undergraduate degree is in accounting, and I deal with business evaluations, tracing complex estates, really complex issues. We also deal with tort issues. Spouses can assault one another, and there's just a myriad of issues, and it keeps you on your feet. But you really get to help people at the most difficult time for most of them in their lives. When I'm not being a lawyer, the things that grab at my heartstrings currently are Community First Village, where I volunteer on a weekly basis. This is a village of tiny homes for formerly homeless people that's growing in this town. And I also spend a great deal of time working with former addicts and felons at the Harvest Blessing Food Pantry, and I've also been doing that for, 6, 7, maybe longer. I first came to Austin in the early 1970s to go to UT Law School. I've lived in this town since then, and my entire practice has been centered with my main office in Austin since that time. I've seen Austin grow from a fairly sleepy little town, which was nothing more than UT and the government almost, into what it is today. I live downtown, and I can't believe the skyline of this town anymore and the growth in it. And it's really kind of exciting to see us become more of an international city. In my personal time, my wife Julie and our dog Dolly Parton enjoyed downtown life. We spend a lot of time in the parks around this area and soak up the culture of this town.